Welcome back to the CTO Motors channel, and today we are going to be discussing about the 10 frequently most asked questions. What are the import regulations and taxes for bringing a car in Rwanda? I mean, if you're thinking of bringing a car in Rwanda, if you have just bought it or if you have been owning it for a while, Rwanda is a pretty good place to bring it, because if it's a hybrid or an electric car, that means it is subject to no taxes. Our second question was, can I use my foreign driver's license to purchase and drive a car in Rwanda? Yes, you can. Yes, you can. Using a foreign driver's license is pretty much legal in Rwanda. It doesn't matter where you're from. If you do have a driver's license, you can use it in Rwanda. Are there any restrictions on the types or models of cars that can be imported? No, except if you want to bring, a tank or something, or military vehicles, that might apply to regulations. But if you drive any other car make that is for the daily drive, or if it's a sports car, yes, you can import it. There is no regulations against it, right? But I want to warn you about something. If you're trying to buy a car and bring it in Rwanda, if it's a sports car and it's slow, that is going to be a problem for you, because you don't have where to drive it. Because Rwandan roads are pretty clean, they're pretty well maintained, but most of them have speed bumps, right? And those speed bumps are high that they could scratch the bottom of your car, which could be a problem if you're importing a sports car for your, for weekend drives. So I would consider you first look at your car, check its ground height, and then you can go on and import it in Rwanda. Going on to the next question, are there any cultural or language barriers I should be aware of when negotiating with sellers or dealerships? I would say if you're negotiating with sellers, the local sellers, there might be a language barrier for some reason. But if you're negotiating with dealerships, it's pretty uncommon that you find a dealership where they don't speak proper English or proper French. Yeah, most of the dealerships have personnel that speak foreign languages. But if you're talking to local sellers, that might be a problem. And the thing is, when you do come to Rwanda, don't buy a car straight from the seller. Use a professional auto broker. You have to use an auto broker that can help you through the whole buying process. Because if you go all in by yourself, they have a tendency to charge you 3 times the price just because they know you're a foreigner. So I would recommend you get a car broker that you trust, and then they can help you throughout the whole process. They only charge a small fee of $250. Okay. How does the process of purchasing a car in this country differ from my home country? If you're from the US, it's pretty much not different from everywhere else in the world. I would say the only difference that comes in play is when you try to buy a car from the local sellers and not from the dealerships. The dealerships is just all the same, the financing and the whole process of dealerships. It's still the same. But if you're purchasing from local sellers, it can be a headache if you're doing it by yourself. So that's what I would say. Once again, I recommend you use a local auto broker when you are purchasing a car in Rwanda. Okay. The next question is, are there reputable dealerships or online platforms where I can buy a car as a foreigner? Yes, we have a couple of very reputable dealerships here in Rwanda, and they include CTO Motors, Hyundai Rwanda, and You have car baba. I mean, it's a lot of them. So because we have relationships with all of them, it's pretty easy to get a car, you know. But if you're looking to go straight to the dealerships, I would suggest either you use a Kagera Motors Rwanda or you use Hyundai Rwanda. If you're looking for any other car which is not Toyota or Hyundai, that means you have to get another broker because now you don't have very many, like, you know, varieties when you go to the dealerships. You know, most dealerships here are going to offer you either Hyundai cars or Toyota cars, which means there's not much variety. If you want a different car, like you want to get a Mercedes or a BMW or a Range Rover, that means now you have to go to the auto brokers because those are the ones who have connections with all the sellers of those cars. If you go straight to the dealerships, you aren't going to find much. Okay, to the next question. What are the warranty and after sales service options for foreign purchased cars? I mean, this question I think goes more into like the parts and the spare parts that you're going to need. Like if you bring a car, if you go to the dealerships, you won't really find much. Are there any specific roadworthiness or safety standards that foreign purchased cars must meet? Yes. Um, Most of the cars in Rwanda are like left wheel drive, and most of the cars here are more like those durable options, like those makes that are rigid. Like you're talking about the Toyota RAV4, you're talking about the Prius. So it's pretty much that. And the last question is, are there any incentives or subsidies available for purchasing eco-friendly or electric vehicles in Rwanda? Yes. Yes. I mean, this is the question I've been waiting for. You know, like if you want to buy a car that is electric or that is a hybrid or it's, yeah, one of those two. It's a hybrid or electric vehicle. That vehicle entering the country, if you're importing it to Rwanda, there will be no charges, as I've said before. If you're importing another car which is not like electric or eco-friendly, that means you have to incur the charges. You know, if you want more information about that, you can message us or leave us an email and we could answer you. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.